Great things come in threes, such as trilogies, the divisions of movie frames, podcast hosts, musketeers, and probably this list. It was just a tad too long. Welcome everyone to Rule Thirds, a podcast of rulethirds.com. I know, hard to guess our website by our name, yet we keep repeating it because it's ingrained in my head. I keep saying that. But anyway, welcome. Today's topic is about threes. It's a new show? Do we want to call it show? Like
sub-series.
A feature? Sub-series, whatever.
Sub-series.
Of the podcast, 3Top3s. And we'll explain a little bit after the break, but I think it'll be exciting. And it's an appropriate 3Top3 for the first 3Top3 we do. But again, you'll hear more after the break. So until then, my name is Sean.
My name is Larry.
And my name is Max.
And you are listening to Rule Thirds. Welcome everyone again to Rule Thirds. I'd like to start out. We always start out by asking the other two hosts, how are you guys doing? Max, Larry?
I'm doing well, but yeah. I'm actually doing well because right now as this podcast goes up, not right now as in our recording, but right now I'm on the road to the City of Angels. Yeah.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're like best friend in the whole world and like would die to say, I don't know where I'm going. I'm here, so you got to come visit.
Yeah.
We're going to probably have fun next time recording a podcast. No, not next time because you'll be on the road. Time after that, from the same room. So that'll be fun.
Oh.
Larry will be the only one calling in.
All right.
Just so he feels excluded. So
Wouldn't be the first time, so
I know.
it's okay.
But Larry, you're doing well.
I've been better, but you know, whatever. I've gotten over it.
Okay, no, nothing you want to go into? No.
Well, it's that feeling when you give something up and you're not exactly sure if it was worth giving up. So, I'm still trying to process it in my head at the moment. Exactly. Train spotting.
You know, actually,
Ewan McGregor giving it up.
Train spot.
But that's it. It's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie, yeah.
If I may, Larry, I know that you're about to graduate soon.
Yeah.
I may make a suggestion on this podcast. Like, take every moment of that graduation to heart. Like, I didn't do that, and now I kind of feel like I missed out on graduation. I was like, let's go. I want to go. I want to go to college and all stuff. That didn't make any sense. But just, like, word of advice to all the high school graduates out there listening, and also Larry, like, savor graduation. Like, savor every moment, because it's a good time. It really is.
Okay, Larry, if I may say something on the podcast, ignore Max. Graduation is a chore to get through. The partying with friends and family after is really fun. It's a joke, and your life is going to get so much more worthwhile after high school. It's kind of ridiculous in hindsight how nothing mattered in high school. That's my message for the kiddos out there.
This is essentially like a shoulder devil and shoulder angel discussion of savor college, forget about it savor graduation, forget about it after it happened.
He wants you to savor graduation. I'm going to lead you down the path that rocks.
I am. My path does rock.
That is so appropriate for our topic today.
Yes, it is. Spoilers, jeez. So before we get to the topic, we need to hand it over to Sean for the community segment. You're up, Sean. Thanks, Sean. So it's always awkward when I'm hosting and then I just like go right to community segment. But we're going to do the community segment. We have Whitley and Seth because you're listening to Rule Thirds, of course. It's Whitley and Seth. So apparently I am in denial about my Bill O'Reilly-ness. I'm not. I just deny it.
Yeah.
I'm not in denial. I just deny it. Jeez. He's not a huge fan of Damon Lindelof, so Max kind of on board with you.
I haven't even watched Lost. That's how.
First season was very good.
This guy.
First season was very good. I kind of just dropped it for some reason, but yeah, that was good. Apparently, it doesn't go anywhere, but so I'm not probably going to continue. But and for his favorite depiction of the future, he says it's a toss-up between Minority Report and Cowboy Bebop, which is a very famous anime. If you don't know,
yeah.
He says the former is weirdly false utopia. And I agree, I do like false utopias. They're always kind of fun to see. And then the other, it says, a world where space is an international highway and the only crimes in existence are committed by punks desperate for money and fame. So, yeah, it's kind of the Old West vibe, kind of what Star Wars is going for, what it sounds like. And then Seth says, I don't know if he's being sarcastic. He says, also, Sean knows the difference between fact and opinion. Is that...
I think it's a reference to Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, okay. Good. If we're burning Bill O'Reilly, good.
Nice.
And also sarcasm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
He says he probably won't see Tomorrowland. Theaters are expensive. Doesn't really interest him.
What?
He says
What do
the theaters where I live are expensive. We've got an Epic, an IMAX, and a second-run art house joint downtown. So clearly, his only options are like go big or go home. You know. It is said that his favorite future portrayal was the first third of Mother 3. The guys play Mother 3, Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, yeah. I'm Earthbound's one of my favorite video games, so yeah, I played a little bit of Mother 3.
With the Carousel of Progress a close second, and I actually know what he's talking about. That's the
It's a great big
Disney,
beautiful tomorrow.
Yeah, Disneyland thing. I actually wrote like a little bit of a college paper, a research paper on the Carousel of Progress ride. That was fun. And he also says The Incredibles is his favorite Pixar movie. Don't know why.
That's right. That's right, y'all.
But Up is so much better, though. It's funny, because when I look at the posters for Inside Out, at the top it does say, from the creators of The Incredibles. Right? That's what it says.
Which is weird, because Pete Docter, the director, directed Up.
Wait, that's not what it says. Oh, it says Up. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, we're going to move on. I'm in a jolly mood, apparently. That's surprising. I walked 15 miles today and yesterday. I should be like exhausted. Am I compensating? Fun. So anyway, our topic today, it's a new... Good thing I'm hosting and my rants can't be stopped by anyone, right?
Exactly.
Our topic today is, again, a new segment, new sub-show called 3Top3s. And it's pretty much... The origin of this was my idea. I'll take credit for it because it's my idea. Back when we were doing video shows, and I said I like top 10s. How would we do a unique spin on them? And so my idea was, well, there are 3 of us, so let's each just pick a topic and give our top 3s. So there you go, 3 top 3s. And now we're gonna bring it to the podcast.
Yeah.
Boom. And so what this is gonna be is we pick a topic, and we'll get to the topic in just a second, and then we list our 3 top, number 3, number 2, number 1. It rotates between the 3 of us, and discuss them. And we can't be too long, because it's like there are 9 things to talk about, so 5 minutes times 9, that's already 45 minutes with the intro, so we gotta be pretty quick about them, but it'll be fun to go through and see, and then of course this leads to perfect community question at the end. So, the topic for our first 3 Top 3, the inaugural episode, is openings. Pretty fitting. Film openings. So, this was kind of loose when we did it before, and where we have the same picks, so we're going to keep the rules the same. This is just kind of like opening sequence? How do we define it, guys? Because it's not explicitly like one scene, as much as just you can say that is a definitive end of the beginning, and everything that came before it was awesome. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of...
It's not the first act, it's not the first scene specifically. It can be, but
right.
It's really just more of like, you know, how, like, what's the first thing you remember when you started watching this movie? Like, what's the thing that comes to mind when you think...
The first block. What about that?
Yeah.
Like just, you can tell that was the beginning. It can be a while. It can be, like, you know, a pretty long sequence. It can be, like, a few scenes, and then you finally, you know, boom, there's kind of a rest point, and that's when the movie, like, oh, that was the beginning. Now we get into, like, the rest of it. So, again, it's kind of loose, but that's basically it. So, let's not waste any time. But, again, the community question is pretty obvious. What are your 3 favorite movie openings? Let us know in the comments or on Twitter. And tell us, you know, if you disagree with any of our picks coming up. And we're going to be doing some spoilers, but of course we're talking about only the beginning, so you shouldn't really worry about it, but just wanted to give that heads up for whatever reason. So let's get right to it. Larry,
actually, can I ask, does anybody have, like, any honorable mentions? Like,
yes, I was about to
I can tell
ask.
You, I'll just...
man.
I'll just... if I may, can I just say 90% of Marvel movies. 90%. Not all of them, but, like, most of them. They just know how to open.
Well, yeah, Marvel movies are good at opening.
I think did I delete my...
I mean, I could just list off a few to stall for you, Sean, if you'd like.
No. See, that's the thing. I have the script for the video we were going to shoot, and so like I have it around, and it has my.
So go find it.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm scrolling through my laptop.
So
Jeez.
I'll just name a few. If this is probably number 4, Sin City, great opening. Just like it doesn't like there's no warning, no no regrets afterwards. It's just it seems out of place at first, but once it ends, you know exactly why it was added there. It's a great way to introduce the film. Also, Wolf of Wall Street. Pitch perfect way to introduce the tone and style of the film, like absolutely. Leonardo
Don't get me started
DiCaprio
on that brilliant movie.
I
love that opening.
Leonardo DiCaprio is the master of awesome voiceovers in the beginning of films, and I know it's cliche, but the film nerd in me has to mention the opening to Citizen Kane because I do feel that when you analyze that opening and just the amount of tricks that are and tips and filmmaking, awesome cinematography things that are done. Especially considering that movie was made quite a while ago. It's quite impressive when you think about Wells' skills.
You know what's interesting, actually, is that a lot of, now that I think about it, a lot of, like, famous, like, Looney Tunes cartoons and whatnot, like, actually start their animation with a tilt upward of, like, a certain location, just like how Citizen Kane opens. It's very strange, but I think it, like, definitely shows the kind of influence that Citizen Kane's had.
This brief mentioning of a few runner-ups is getting a little off track, you guys. But just to give some of mine, Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Okay.
Great musical sequence.
Okay.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight, introduction of the Joker. Casino Royale, the great black and white noir, intense bathrooms fight scene. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, just the hilarious opening credits are great. Expendables 2 was an awesome action sequence. Memento was just brilliant I'm just talking about specifically how... he's shaking the Insta photo. I can't remember what it's called. Wow, showing my millennial generation. I can't remember a Polaroid. There we go. Shaking it, and it develops as he shakes it, and that instantly makes the audience understand that the film is going backwards. I think that's brilliant. And that's it. That's my list.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So
and
runners-up.
one more.
What?
One more. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
Yes.
I honestly
Good
can't
one.
even place the opening. Deer Hunt?
No, the thing before that, like, it's basically like a very well executed giant exposition dump with like credits and stuff of like just watching the world kind of like lose everything and just catch you up. on
Sometimes
what
exposition
happened
is
in
a
Rise
good
of the Planet
thing,
of the Apes.
Max.
Don't start.
Hint
Don't start.
towards future episode.
Yeah,
Okay,
seriously.
but let's seriously get to it, guys. Seriously.
Yeah,
so,
let's go.
Larry, what is your number 3?
All right, number 3 favorite. Should I just say it, or should I like build up, or just say it?
Please don't.
What? Don't what?
Build up.
Max does it more than you. Don't just say it.
Okay, so it's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So I'm a big fan of the book, easily like probably my favorite book ever. And so when I realized there was a movie about it, I quickly found it and watched it. And the movie's all right in general, but the thing that really stood out for me in that film is the opening, which is a bizarre musical sequence describing how apparently dolphins were really the world's masterminds and they were trying to communicate to us that the world was going to end. But really, like, apparently after like a couple of millennia, they just gave up, and so they just told us so long and thanks for all the fish. And that's pretty much the song. It's called So Long, Thanks for All the Fish. It's a bunch of zany clips of dolphins and choirs singing this musical number, and it's ridiculous, but it's almost perfect when you consider the source material we're dealing with here. Douglas Adams and the zany, sarcastic British humor that is scattered all throughout. Hitchhikers, almost like Monty Python, like Sean mentioned earlier. So it basically has little of anything to do with the film, but really a lot of things about Hitchhikers have barely anything to do with each other. So it's just a perfect way to introduce this kind of a zany comedy. So there you go.
Great.
Number
Yeah,
3.
yeah. I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything. Max, have you?
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't think you guys
moving right
have to. But see the opening, though. The opening's on YouTube, though, if you're interested.
Oh yeah. Okay. Everything's on YouTube.
Yeah.
We can.
Wait, so you're telling me you're watching a thing about like how the world's gonna end? Now I know which wolf you're feeding, Larry.
Hey, Tomorrowland reference. Go watch the previous episode of Rural Thirds podcast. Anyway, I'm going to go second because I can. My number 3 pick for best film opening is Saving Private Ryan, which it's definitely one of the more memorable like scenes ever in movies. It's the storming of Omaha Beach. Yes, Omaha. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Or wait, was it Normandy?
No, because everyone's like the storm Normandy. Like, no, it was actually the Omaha. It was not Normandy. It was not D-Day.
Actually, it was Omaha.
Actually, well, no, but it was Omaha, and it's just, man, I don't know how to really put it in words. It's a really just incredibly impressive sequence and how it's produced, like how realistic it is in that film way. Like, of course, you can never recapture it, but it's incredibly intense. It's incredibly violent and disturbing for a way to open your movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so
it's so violent.
I know. It's brutal, and it doesn't shy away from anything, and that's what makes it so memorable. It's because you open the film with the film's most intense scene, which was, gutsy. And so good for them. Yeah, what do you guys think? Like, do you guys have any other word? Like, that's it, really. For me, it's just so well made. It's so intense. It's so impressive, and I love that it shows the full scope. It isn't just like the following Tom Hanks through the battle, though it does. It cuts away a lot, and we see like just everyone trapped in this, death zone, pretty much.
Yeah,
on the beach.
It really is like the most iconic scene of the movie, and also. Just unbelievably violent. Like, I remember watching this in like my 8th grade history class, U.S. history. That like the weird part is that the teacher knew that like it was an R-rated movie. Like, he covered up a scene where I believe a guy just blows up. He holds a grenade and like he just blows up while he has it.
That's like the worst thing. Like, there's something that fundamentally offends me when a teacher is covering up stuff. Like, that just like gets me.
It was 8th grade, dude.
No.
I think the school would get mad if
I don't care.
Oh my god!
It really
in my film class,
and then somebody
my
else,
teacher shows a
isn't
ton
there
of
like a scene
R-rated
where,
stuff.
Well, like, this was 8th grade. This was middle school, not high school. And isn't there like a scene where like a guy like drops his hat, drops his helmet, gets it, puts it back on, then gets shots in the face?
Yep.
Anyway,
No.
like
The bullet ricochets off his helmet.
Oh right,
and he takes off. He's laughing, and then the bullet just goes right through his head, like the exact same spot.
It's tragic. That scene.
That's comedic travesty.
Yeah. But that's the point. It's.
I think it's also
horrible.
important to mention that I think the extreme violence in that scene really does set a good tone for just how tragic war is. I feel it's a very big idea that comes out of something of a film, especially like Saving Private Ryan. You know, so props to them for a good war scene in general. Like, really one of the best ones ever.
I would call it my number one. Unless we're talking like medieval fantasy, because, well, I'm a bigger fan of medieval fantasy, and there's like Battle Upon Our Fields, but I digress. Max, do you want to go now?
Well, do I want to? No, I'll just let you guys do your 2s, and then I'll do 3.
You're just going to marathon at the end.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Go.
So my number 3 goes to one of my favorite movies of all time, The Social Network.
Nice.
Directed by David Fincher, written by the brilliant but somewhat condemnable Aaron Sorkin. Basically, this opening is everything that embodies how Aaron Sorkin and David Fincher like work their craft. It's a scene that like it bounces back and forth between two characters: our main character Mark Zuckerberg and Erica Albright, who is played by the talented and beautiful Rooney Mara. And basically, we have a conversation between two people that bounces back and forth, just goes, and effectively, we get the entire scope of how Mark Zuckerberg works as a person from a social and from an internal and external standpoint, based on his interactions with others and how he views himself and all the things that he puts up on a pedestal and all the things that he looks down on in one dialogue conversation. And it's not like laid out like a blueprint. It's like it's fed to you. It's gone again and again and again. And like how it all ends in a negative, like Erica leaving Mark, breaking up with him basically, essentially amounts to why this character is so flawed and why he is why this character isn't exactly likable. Like, she's kind of like audience surrogate to an extent, even though they've been going out for like 2 dates beforehand or stuff like that. Or maybe this is their first? I don't know. The point is, this gives a fantastic view of this character in one dialogue conversation that's not exposition. That's just, it's not like Mark Zuckerberg explaining his background or whatever. It's just what he feels is important, what he feels doesn't, and we just get all the information we need from this scene. It's like, it does so many things at once, and I approve.
Yeah. No, that is basically the brilliance, is that there's more character in that one scene than in most full movies.
Yeah. Plus, I have see the. All right, I'm sorry, but there's something else that you need to know about this scene that I think is so awesome. This scene has in total about 1,000 takes. Mm-hmm. The actors just kept resetting and just doing it again and again. And during editing, they essentially took all the best bits from these, from these hundreds and hundreds of takes and put it into one scene. Each, some little sentences would be just grabbed a little bit from one and then put into the main sequence. This thing was composed from 1,000 takes. This isn't just a few. This is all of them.
That's brilliant.
Well, it's also insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant and a nightmare.
Yeah.
Bless that editor. Seriously, they had to probably were pulling out hair. It was nuts. But that is another reason why this scene is so great. It's so meticulous and detailed and such a great storytelling unit. It rocks.
It's also it's been a while. Actually, no, it's been a while since I've seen Social Network. But there are two different conversations happening within that scene. Which I think is also kind of brilliant. Mark Zuckerberg just sort of just has a comment towards one conversation and then just moves to another one. And thus,
because that's how his brain works.
Exactly.
That's how he works.
And the way that Rooney Mara works off of him and the way that they are essentially discussing two conversations, it's essentially building up to some big moment. Eventually there's going to be some kind of explosion. And it's a great conclusion also. Just the lines are so witty and snappy, and Jesse Eisenberg is awesome. Just period.
Kirk Baxter and Angus Wald. Those are the two editors. So we have them to thank.
Props to you.
Well done.
Angus, you guys are cool people. Thank you.
Yes. So back to Larry with your number two.
Number two.
Yeah, we could do announcer things. Number two.
I don't know. I'll add some voice effect to you.
No, please don't.
No?
It's
okay.
cheesy.
All right, fine.
Keep our beautiful voices.
Right,
number two.
Whatever. All right, so my number two is The Untouchables, the fantastic Brian De Palma 1920s period piece. It's one of my favorites, but it's kind of cheating. Kinda. The guidelines that we set for the opening scene, they're sort of loose on this one, because really, the opening to The Untouchables, in my opinion, works best if you think of it as two scenes. The first scene is with Al Capone getting a shave. Right, he's at the barber, and he is doing a press interview, and it's similar to how the Social Network sort of works. The way that Robert De Niro, by the way, fantastic performance. He just tells you a lot about his character, the way he acts, the way he speaks, the way he thinks of himself as sort of his place within the current the whole Prohibition era that's going on. It's a great, introduction. There's a great moment where he ends up getting accidentally slashed by the barber, and he gets this mad face, and you think he's going to do something, but he ends up, nope, no, it's okay, whatever, it's fine. Brilliant build up to what comes later. And then you think, okay, whatever, we're going to start off on an easygoing tone. That's okay. So then we go to the next scene where this cute little girl is going up to it wouldn't technically be a bar anymore because it was Prohibition, but some sort of restaurant. She's sitting there, and they're just she's talking to one of the waiters there, and then the businessman comes in, right? And he's on a table, and he's got this suitcase, and then he sits down for a bit, and then he leaves, but the suitcase is still there. So the girl's like, "Wait, sir, you've got your suit." Bam! Bam! The entire building explodes, and it catches you completely off guard. And I think that the sheer combination of how those two scenes set up that sort of how Al Capone doesn't explode. He sort of keeps it in. And then we move on to the next scene that you expect the same thing, but instead it just blows up. It's also a pretty good sort of, not necessarily an analogy, but it's sort of a good way to represent the character. Not only the character, but the events of the film in general as well, which I think is just, oh man, it's great. I love rewatching that sequence just to get those thrills again from that explosion. It's a great explosion too, by the way. You can see the bits just flying all over the place. So
3 top 3 movie explosions.
Yeah, that's another one we have to do. 3 top 3 movie explosions. That would be hard though.
All right, so yeah, again, I haven't seen The Untouchables. Well, I have. It was just a long time ago.
Oh yeah, you should rewatch it, man.
It's actually on HBO now, and I have it on my watch list, so I will get to it eventually.
See, I have watched it, and I don't remember a single thing about it.
Oh my god,
shots
guys!
I do remember that explosion, and then Kevin Costner comes into a bar and sees a little girl, a little girl dies, or something like that.
Sean Connery. And actually, the finale at the Canada border at the bridge was filmed in Montana. So, represent home state.
Yep.
Anyway,
All right.
I'm going to go
Montana. Great.
I'm going to go to my number 2, since you two are kind of being jerks about Montana.
I've never been.
It's
I
funny.
can't say.
I'm like, represent Montana. I'm not living in Montana this summer. I'm cheating on it with California.
Moved. You moved away.
Man,
you left it.
Yeah, I hope Montana doesn't listen to the podcast.
Welcome to the Cool Kids Club, Sean, otherwise known as California.
California. Larry, you need to get to California.
Yeah, go stay. Like, you should come from your stupid nerd state, New Jersey.
Anyway, I'm
my
going to go to my
nerd
number 2
states.
before we start arguing about states. Where has this conversation gone? This is weird. But anyway, my number 2 pick is also cheating. Sorry, but I'm not. It's a combo of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, all 3 films, and each for
Really?
very different reasons. Yes, because
Even Fellowship?
What Fellowship has an amazing opening.
Doesn't Fellowship begin with just like a narration of the world or whatever?
Yes, there is never look. Middle Earth is a terrifyingly deep world, and its lore is insanely complex. And it's amazing that they're able to get everything the audience needs out and very clearly in such a short amount of time.
Max,
And
you're
everyone
hating up on
gets
that
it.
exposition again. It's really starting to bug me, man. You're hating this
guys.
exposition stuff.
Larry! Shut up.
Swear.
Anyway, what makes Fellowship so great is the Fellowship opening so great is that it is able to relay so much, and it's interesting. I think it's a very interesting background, has an amazing battle sequence in it, and yeah, that's about it for Fellowship. It's really, really good. Then Two Towers, this was the first Lord of the Rings scene I saw. My dad showed it to my sister and I, and that's the Gandalf v. Balrog fight.
Did he sit you down and go, kids, watch this?
Yeah, that is what happened. Like, this is awesome. And so we watched that opening scene, and yeah, it's an awesome battle. And it does the weird thing of, we already saw this, but then it just adds to it. Like, it just starts at Fellowship when he falls, and then you just keep following Gandalf, and it's just an amazing fight. The special effects really held up.
Oh yeah, that's right, where he goes down the freaking
falls
place.
through the chasm into the water, and eventually you learn they get to a mountain, but it ends when they hit the water. Brilliant scene. Amazing shot with the whole cavern, and just that tiny streak of red just comes in as the Balrog falls. It's a brilliant scene. And then
The weird thing is, I was exposed. I'm sorry, I was exposed to that scene through Family Guy's parody of it in the
when did they?
Petergeist. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Where it's Herbert the pervert fighting the weird tree guy, and they just go down this hole, and they just basically they do like a shortened version of that scene.
Yeah.
And it was really weird, and then I found out it was from Two Towers.
Yeah.
It's even gone to like other media. Like it's in a game from the Metroid series. It's like, wow, that's a very iconic opening.
Yes, it is. And then Return of the King is just super intense. Origin of Gollum. It's Andy Serkis gets to be out of mocap, and he's, acting well. Really intense murder scene of his brother. And then we see his slow transformation. Amazing makeup. I was impressed. Like, I didn't think about it the first time, but I was rewatching Return of the King, a few months ago, and I realized it's impressive how smoothly they transitioned from real Andy Serkis to the CGI Gollum through just conventional makeup. It's impressive. They did a really good job showing us the slow kind of move towards the Gollum we know and love. Shrug?
Yeah, love. Yeah, we'll go with love.
Yeah. So that's again, I'm cheating, but since it's a trilogy and it's my podcast, I don't have to answer to anyone.
Our
Well,
podcast.
yeah, but who am I going to answer to? You two? No. I don't know.
Well, we're not. It's not like we're
I don't know.
disagreeing with you. The Lord of the Rings movies, their openings are great. I'm not going to battle this with you.
They're good.
Of course, Max is going to battle.
Yeah,
this
of
with
course.
me.
I mean,
Max is
no,
gonna
the
be
Two
the downer.
Towers. Then maybe this just comes from the fact that, see, for those who don't know, and I was actually scolded for this in my screenwriting class this past January. I just watched Lord of the Rings movies last year,
Yeah.
the first time, and well, shut up. What I want to say is Two Towers is my favorite, unlike Sean, who is your
it's
least favorite.
Ends are
Oh, wow,
boring.
really?
Ends are boring. I cannot emphasize this
No,
enough.
the ends are great.
No, they're boring. So boring.
When
There
we
are,
lost
3
all the
scenes
female ends.
that
Oh,
are
I'm sorry they
identical.
died. No, we just can't find them. That's great. Oh, they're so great. Wish that we would see more of them. Anyway, I'll go with that one, but I don't like how Fellowship of the Ring, much like the 2 Thor movies, actually, opens with like a bunch of, here's the history of this world.
That's a fantasy thing, and it had to be done.
Yeah, okay.
And
It's
besides,
kind of like
you
if...
got Kate Blanchett to narrate.
Yeah, seriously.
Good
It's
for
Kate
you.
Blanchett, excuse me.
Okay, that is pretty cool. Like, I will say, like, it's kind of like if in Harry Potter, like, the first one opened with, and thus Hogwarts was created with...
But you don't
with,
need that. You did need the war stuff. You needed to understand the context of the rings. to get the ring rates, and the dwarves never really came in, but the elves were definitely important, and the One Ring. Hogwarts, you don't need to know how Hogwarts was founded, but they're going to make a movie trilogy as a prequel anyway, because money.
Fantastic Beasts!
Anyway. But you did need that here. Lord of the Rings is way too intimidating for newcomers. And also, you guys need to realize that, I mean, think about in context, no one knew Lord of the Rings, really, outside the fantasy community. It wasn't a pop culture phenomenon like it is now.
Are you sure? Because like it was really
they were
weird.
well-known books, but that's...
if I may, I had this really weird thing. I've been binging Friends. I finished it up recently, and one of the weird parts is like twice they bring up Lord of the Rings books before those movies came out, and they just talk about. It's really strange. It's like these books were huge before, but it's like not even long close before to what
it is now.
Yeah,
it wasn't even close.
Okay, yeah.
So that's my defense, is that it was needed. So that's my defense.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we should probably move on. That's my second place. Again, kind of cheating, but anyway, love those.
Who cares? It's Lord of the Rings.
Those openings. Yes, and Hobbit opening, I don't remember any.
Well, except for the terrible opening of the third one.
Oh well, yeah, it was just Smog Attack. Well, it wasn't terrible.
We can't do that right now.
Yeah, we can't.
That'll be a whole.
Go watch our episode on that, on our last Cinema Talk episode, to learn why that opening has issues. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was our last one. Anyway, Max, go ahead.
Yeah. If I may, just real quick, the first Harry Potter movie's opening is like a great way to like talk like. That's a great discussion opener for how like openings can and can't be done, because it's very much in the middle. It's a very mixed bag. But my number 2 is cheating, but it's not cheating. It's very strange.
Well, we're all doing number 2 cheating. I like it.
Good.
But it's not cheating, but it is, because we're talking about one of the most meta franchises out there. My favorites, the Muppets, and specifically, or the Muppets, not the Muppets. Muppets are different from the Muppets because they're the evil. Anyway, this one comes from the Muppet movie, but not the literal Muppet movie itself. We're talking about the Muppet movie within the Muppet movie that is the actual movie. Alright, to explain, the opening of the actual Muppet movie is like everybody coming to the theater to watch the Muppet movie. But that's not my number 2. My number 2 is what comes right after that, with them actually watching the Muppet. This is really difficult. It's not cheating because it is the opening of the movie, but it's not the first thing in the movie.
Don't care if it's cheating. Just explain why you like this.
Yeah, honestly.
Because it has one of the greatest songs ever written, I think, Rainbow Connection. Rainbow Connection is essentially Kermit's theme song. Kermit the Frog is my favorite fictional character of all time, because even though he is a felt frog, he is also very human. He's not, you can't really pin him, like, he's kind of like the Looney Tunes, that you can't really pin him down as like something like, you know, like Mickey is the happy one, Donald is like the angry one, like Minnie is the out there one, Goofy's the, well, you can probably tell,
the out there one.
Goofy's the, well, no, Larry, Goofy is the goofy one. It's
no,
like,
I know, I meant you said you called Minnie the out there one. I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. She's like got her head in the clouds.
Sorry.
But see, like much like the Looney Tunes, Kermit and most of the Muppets, they're very much human, and so that's why. And Rainbow Connection is basically the summation of his entire character. We get an entire characterization of Kermit the Frog in one song, but it's not like talking about him. It's just all in metaphor and brilliant lyrics written by the great Paul Williams. Like just about how it's about retrieving your dream, but also feeling that it's not something you can't actually reach. It's just something that you can always strive to get, but you'll never actually get it. It's brilliant. It's like I could go on and on about why the song itself is brilliant, but it's a great way to introduce us to Kermit and why he's a character you can root for. It's that in this song, we learn everything we need to know about him through also a great song. It's like, it's in a great little swamp area, it's a great, like, it's, I don't want to say cheating, but it's kind of like an easy shortcut to characterize a character through a song or through, like, a backstory or anything like that, but what we get from this is that we see Kermit sitting on the lawn playing a song on a banjo. He's talking about dreaming and the art of dreaming and what it means to dream about something. It's something that we can instantly relate to. I'm not saying relatability is necessary, but it's like, it's a really good asset. And when something like Kermit with a character that is not human, you need that immediately, usually. So that is why it's a great opening, because it immediately gets us on Kermit's side. There's no save the cat or anything like that. It's just bam. That's why we have to root for Kermit. Because he dreams like us, and he's got a great song. And I just said the same thing like 3 times.
Yes, you did.
Stop.
Yeah.
But I'm sensing a theme of opening scene. We get the whole character. So let's see if that holds true with number 1. That'll be interesting to see.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm going to spoil it
Wow,
right now. It
no
doesn't.
spoilers.
Oh, well.
Jeez.
Nice.
I was getting all
I'm spoiling
excited.
the opening.
And you
If
ruined
I
it.
if I
You
may
ruined it.
comment, if I may work off of what Max thinks, I said I think a great thing about songs is that like a great method of sort of giving your character, you know what I mean, is through song. One of my favorite songs of all time, "Make 'Em Laugh" from Singing in the Rain, essentially gives us the entire character of Cosmo Brown, like
Sure.
in that song. So
That's actually.
I need
it's
to watch
funny.
that movie again.
You should. It's an amazing movie. That song is
Oh, yeah.
actually a direct lift with different lyrics from another.
yeah,
Who's the main
it's-
character? Who from The Pirate with Judy
Yeah.
Garland and
It's
who is he? Oh my goodness, the main star.
I can't remember.
Wow, why are
Dang
we
it.
both? Because Fred Astaire and blank. Those were the two big.
No, Ginger Rogers.
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
What?
The two male leads. Fred
Oh,
Astaire,
oh.
who's creepy and really annoying and arrogant. I want to punch him in his face. And sorry, I was in a musicals class and had to watch. I think the final total was 7 Fred Astaire movies, and he's always the same. He's so smug, and I really hate his persona like a lot. It's bad. I had to watch him 8 times. Why can't I remember?
You know,
his name?
yeah.
Anyway,
What's fun? Okay, on a side note, it's funny because I'm pretty sure Fozzie Bear actually sang "Make Him Laugh" in a bit on either a Muppet movie or an episode of the Muppet Show.
It's
I
very
remember this.
appropriate. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
songs
Gene
are
Kelly.
fun.
Goodness sakes, Gene Kelly.
Gene Kelly.
Gene
Oh yeah,
Kelly.
Gene Kelly's
Anyway.
great.
This was a
Of
waste of time, but at
course.
least I got to rant about how smug
Gene
and
Kelly
musical
singing
Fred
in the
Astaire
rain.
is.
Thirds.
Hey, you know what? It wasn't actually a waste of time because speaking of musicals and songs,
Dun 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 dun.
number
are we going
one.
number one?
Transition.
Number
one.
Number one.
So if you couldn't tell, I'm a fan of musical openings for my number 3. So Long Thanks for All the Fish.
Oh.
I'm also
Oh,
a
I know.
fan. I'm
Oh.
also a fan of like other musical openings from films like Aladdin, Arabian Nights, Tarzan, Two Worlds. Great musical openings that not only are entertaining with good orchestration and good composition, it also tells the story through the song, or at least gives us a pretty good idea of what we're in for through the song. It's not just a song to be a song, you know what I mean? And the opening to my favorite film of all time, The Emperor's New Groove, is that. It is a song that is giving us a perfect, it perfectly etches what we are in for with this film. The song Perfect World.
Theme song guy.
Yes, from our theme song guy, what is it?
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones.
Do you know-
right.
do you know Tom Jones?
Yes, of course I know Tom
Freaking
Jones.
what? I just found this out. What's New Pussycat guy did Perfect World. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
that
Tom
blew my
Jones,
mind.
man. He's great. The song Perfect World, if it can be boiled down to one thing, it's essentially this. Cusco is an arrogant prick. That's literally the song. But the genius behind the song is that it works so perfectly with the rest of the opening, where Cusco is giving his own wonderful plethora of visual gags and great one-liners and sort of this perfect self-awareness of his persona that needs to be in way more characters in the future. And this sarcastic, selfish glory that Cusco has is perfectly embodied within a song that is so bombastic and so over the top. It's just incredible. It's catchy. It's got a wonderful beat. Tom Jones's vocals are just out of this world. And the brilliant part is it's not afraid to stop either. There's one moment in the opening where the groove is thrown off and the song stops and the guy is thrown out a window. But you know what? We'll keep going. We're gonna keep going, and we're gonna have a ton of guys tap dancing, despite the fact they're not wearing tap shoes. And we're just gonna have a ton of fun. And that is literally The Emperor's New Groove. It is a ton of fun. Cusco's an arrogant prick, and a lot of the moments in Emperor's New Groove are just like that. They're incredibly over the top. They're kind of crazy. There's a lot of self-awareness involved, but that's the beauty. Plus, the opening also ends on one of the greatest one-liners of all time, "Boom Baby," which is a great line and one of my all-time favorites. So, Emperor's New Groove, Perfect World, totally deserving of the number 1 spot on my list.
Cannot disagree with this one. Cannot.
It's
It's probably my
so
favorite
good.
Disney opening.
It's so good. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I actually screened this film for my film club recently.
Good on you. I saw that on Facebook.
Oh.
Good on you, man.
Yeah. It was a great time, and it's also a beautiful film, and that is that's great because I'm not a huge Disney musicals guy, but that is like the one Disney musical number that perhaps destroys them all. Like this one is it's great. Again, it's great characterization, and it's just a really catchy song. Like it's like one song that makes a difference.
Yep.
And and it's funny, and it's got really good lyrics. I can't.
Oh
I
yes,
still don't know
I
the
forgot to
lyrics
mention
to
that
the song.
the lyrics are incredibly smart too. Like they're not.
There are emperors with the intellects of fleas, like
Yes,
stuff like that.
exactly. It perfectly it's very wordy, and in a very wordy way it explains his greatness. But I feel that's what Cusco would do anyway. So it's like if Cusco could write a song about his greatness, this is what we would get, and it's wonderful. I need to watch that again after this.
Oh man, you should. It's great.
Yeah.
It's only 70 minutes. Very strange. Sean, what do you think?
Well, I don't really have anything to add that you guys didn't say, except Chicago. That's definitely a runner-up. That reminded me, just a musical.
Oh yeah, all
opening.
that jazz.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Great opening.
Also, can we just talk about how that's like one of the best films ever? God, I love Chicago.
Chicago was fun. A lot of fun.
Sean, have you watched The Emperor's New Groove?
Well, yeah, of course. Multiple times.
It just sounds like you kind of threw up the conversation because you didn't want to talk about.
No, just I didn't want to repeat because it might take a while. We've already run over a bit. We're running late. You guys already said everything I wanted to say, so I just thought, hey, let's plug Chicago because it's one of my favorite movies.
Let's just plug
ever.
musicals.
So good.
Musicals have great
Watch it
openings.
sometime.
You know what? We should do a musicals podcast.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm not ashamed to admit, probably my
Great.
favorite genre.
I'm a
have
sucker
anything
for
to
a great
say.
musical. Are you kidding me,
Oh,
man?
yeah.
Musicals.
Max, have you seen
Openings.
Chicago?
No.
We're gonna watch Chicago.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, you gotta watch Chicago.
Should I wait until I go to your place
Well,
and
yeah,
we'll watch
yeah.
it
Yeah, I own it.
on that really small screen? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well,
Cool.
I'll figure something. I do have an HDMI adapter. We could put it on my little TV, but it's tiny. Maybe as I go over to your place for my HDMI adapter, you have a big TV. But anyway,
That's right, yeah.
We can make these arrangements off the podcast. What are we doing? Anyway, my number one pick. I have no idea
What are
this
we
podcast
doing?
is anymore.
Next
I,
topic.
it's just. I think we're just like having this totally scattered random Skype conversation, and oops, we're all recording on GarageBand. Oops, it's all edited together. Oops, it's uploaded with music.
And
I
it's
feel
beautiful.
Like that's what this is.
It's beautiful, Sean.
Yes.
It's bringing tears to my eyes.
Yeah, but,
It's like the party in Avengers: Age of Ultron. It's like you guys should be like going out doing stuff. Now we're just having a party, and there just happens to be stuff we have to fight. At some point.
So, my number one film opening of all time. It's funny how this kind of did a full circle from earlier in the episode, and I didn't even acknowledge it at the time. My favorite film opening of all time, and it's a lot of people's favorite film opening. It's kind of impossible to describe why. You just kind of just see it, but my favorite film opening of all time is Up, the best Pixar film of all time, because of its opening.
That's why you brought it. Oh.
Well, no, that isn't. I brought. Seth commented. Seth
that's
commented
right.
about
Well, to
The
be
Incredibles.
fair, I also did that with my opening with the whole shoulder and angel devil thing. So it's
Yes,
all, it's
but
all
anyway, Up. What can I say? Like it again, like how I said. You know how I said with Social Network, there's more character in that one scene than in most other movies' entire runtime. Well, there is more heart and emotion and just pure emotional drama in these first sequences of Up than in 90% of other movies' entire runtime. It is.
It's a great. Yeah.
It is a short film in its own almost. Like you could honestly take it out and it just be a really depressing short film in the end. But of course, it isn't just so fully contained. You get the sense at the end that this is a character that needs to rediscover passion in life, and of course, that's what the whole point of the film is. But it's just so beautiful. Like I don't know what can I say, guys. Like it's one of the, I believe my official count is at 6, maybe 7 movies to make me cry. It is one of them.
Oh,
it is an
boy.
elite group.
Really?
Yes. The other
the elite group.
It is an elite
Films
group.
to make me cry.
Hey, it's not
I like
easy
that.
apparently.
Yeah, I know it's not easy for me
Let's
either.
see.
Oh, just for the record,
If I
Max,
may,
because you're a
it's-
big fan, Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2, Snape, always.
Oh.
That made me
Oh
cry.
yeah, that's
Because
tragic.
Snape's my favorite. Anyway, what were you
Lily's
going to say,
theme,
Max?
y'all. If I may, this is a great example of visual storytelling.
Oh
Yes,
my
there's
god, I was
The
literally
film,
just about to
mother
say
effing
that.
media.
Max, you and me,
like
man.
that right there. It tells you everything without a dang word. It's the
Well, that's
same
the
reason
thing.
why the first half of WALL-E is such a triumph.
Look, it's a really good opening with the you see
that's
the
right. Yeah,
kids
there's that
coming
whole
around.
thing
There's
beforehand. That's-
meets Ellie and all that. That's great. But what's really
Yeah.
amazing is when just the music kicks in and it goes through their entire married life together up till her death. That's
Up
like
till her death.
that has no words. There are no words.
Yeah, it's like, and it's really like powerful. And there's even the point where, could you ever imagine a Pixar movie that involves a miscarriage?
Okay,
Like-
see, I never understood if it was a miscarriage or if it was just she was infertile. Like they just couldn't
Yeah, I
have
thought
a
she
kid.
was infertile. That's what I thought.
Is she Monica? Sorry.
Yes, good.
Sorry,
no,
yeah.
please reference Friends. Now I'm not the only one referencing it all the time.
Now I'm gonna have to binge Friends.
Yes, do so.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, but I mean, Max, just like you hit the nail on the head. This is brilliant exposition. It is giving us.
Oh my god! Never say the word exposition again.
I will say it as many times as I want. Exposition.
It's not exposition. It's not exposition.
It's not exposition.
No, it is. It's telling us the story. It's telling us the story.
That's not exposition. Larry, do you even know what exposition is?
Yes, it's
exposition
talking.
Is a character explaining a thing that is perhaps not as either crucial or not crucial.
Stop. We don't care. Let's just move on with the nice, happy, positive discussion about how wonderful Up is.
Which is what I was about to get to. It's not so it's not necessarily a character telling it, but we are getting this wonderful story with so much great heart and soul, as you mentioned, but there are no words. And really, there's no, like, that many words on screen also. Like, there's maybe one or two cues that involve words that we have to read, but it's through the animation and, like, the facial expressions. And the music, too, which is, by the way, that song that happens throughout that opening is one of it's definitely one of the best Pixar
of silence, and can you play play it for us, please, Larry?
Oh, yeah, sure, hold on. Yeah, it's great. Isn't it great?
It's so much
fun. It's definitely one of the best. It's arguably the best Pixar piece of music, and it's arguably one of the best like themes for a movie. Like it's such a catchy theme in general.
But it's melancholy almost. Like it's upbeat in the kind of sad sense. I don't know how to describe it.
In the innocent
maybe because
sense,
it's used in really sad scenes, and that's why I have that attached to it. But yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah. Up. It's great.
Max, do you have anything, Larry? Anything more on the Up opening?
I gave my spiel.
I honestly, I really like Up. I haven't seen it in full since it actually came out.
Oh, well,
so
you really should. I also have.
Yeah, I feel like watching it before Inside Out because it was directed, as I mentioned earlier, by Pete Docter.
Then let's do it, Max. I have it with me. I have my Blu-ray copy with me here in LA, so we will watch it. And Chicago, double feature, boom, double movie night. You down?
Oh my god.
Chicago.
This is going to be a long summer. Anyway, I acknowledge
that
it was visual storytelling. I sort of take it back, but that whole montage sequence is what I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
I forgot
about
the opening. Yeah, the first scene. But like, it didn't get me to cry, I guess, because like I understood. Like I don't even know. Like I'm not a crying guy. Like not that there's anything wrong with crying, as Baymax pointed out. Crying is a natural response to pain, but. For me, like, I understood it. It was a great method of explaining to me how this character... It's a sense of empathy. Empathy is one of the strongest ways you can tell a story, and right there, that's right it. Like, you lose a loved one, you're not exactly gonna be Mr. Sunshine, you know? And if you are, you're probably hiding something, very dark. So, instead, we have Carl Winslow. That's his name, right? Carl Winslow?
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Carl, definitely. Winslow, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Carl Okay, we have Carl, like, this bitter old man, and the entire time we understand. It's kind of like the opening to Finding Nemo, how we understand why Marlin is
so protected,
the way he is.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a great opening scene in the way to introduce the character.
It seems. Yeah.
Character!
And Incredibles, you get immediately why Mr. Incredible wants those good old days back.
Yep.
Oh my god, yeah, it's a great opening, too.
Toy Story, you see that
Pixar
Woody's the favorite before Buzz. It's almost like Pixar knows what they're doing.
Oh,
Shocking.
Oh my god, crazy, right? Man. Shocking.
Everyone's shocking development.
News.
We should all pay attention to the opening of Inside Out to see if, like, it holds up.
Yeah, probably.
It will.
See, that's one of those tropes that's good. Like, Pixar movies is, like, immediately establish an empathy by showing the standard status quo before the catalyst of the film. Then we get to the catalyst. They're really good at that.
Yep.
Hooray, we uncovered something about one of the best studios of our time. This has been a successful podcast, but I would like to end this Up segment by talking about... Okay, I'm a bit of an Apple nerd, as you all know, and I used to watch all the keynotes. Basically, I stopped watching when Steve died, because he was kind of like the force of Apple.
It's like he's a friend of yours.
He is.
When Steve died.
Steve-O is what I called him. But anyway, my favorite moment from any... keynote, and this is more than the amazing reveal of the iPhone. This is more than when I was watching the iPad live and it felt like this amazing next step, which it turned out to be, was a phenomenon. My number one thing is during that iPad demonstration, I'm almost positive it was the iPad when it was announced. They were just showing off what it can do. And Steve was with the iPad doing a demo, right? Steve Jobs. And he launched up the Movies app just to show, like, here's what movies look like on iPad, right? It's just a selling point. It was just another one of, like, 20 whatever points he had to get through. The movie he started up was Up, and that's not a surprise because he's had huge ties with Pixar throughout his career.
He developed the Pixar computer.
Right, and he's on the board. He was on the board of directors, so it's no surprise. What's amazing is that he starts Up at the beginning of this scene, and he just watches. Like, he just watches the scene. And, like, the rest of the demo was like, here's what we can do, amazing, boom, and, like, sell. He just sat down in a chair, literally just sat down in one of the chairs on stage and watched this scene, and it played for the whole auditorium, and everyone just watched it for almost the entire scene before he realized, oh, right, and then he stopped it. And it was just amazing because you could just watch him, and he was just watching it. He was totally engrossed in it, even though he was in front of thousands of people and delivering, you know, the product that was going to be his last, of course he didn't know, but like his last great big innovation of technology. He put that aside and watched this opening. That's how good it is. Boom. End of anecdote. Sorry, that went on a little long.
I actually can I connect to that even more so?
Yeah, I guess so.
I went to go see a Pixar in concert, which is essentially the New York Philharmonic, which is a huge orchestra. They played several Pixar pieces from like memorable songs, and one of them was the Up opening, like the entire opening. So they played it, and literally in the audience, like normally in other clips, like with Incredibles and Ratatouille, people would laugh, haha. You could hear some talking in the background, which was totally cool. But then when Up happened, it was just silence swept the whole room. And even though obviously almost 99% of the room had probably watched the Up opening, when we got to the scene when Carl and they're in the hospital, and she realizes that she's infertile or she's a miscarriage, whichever it is. Everyone just kind of went like, "Aww," like it's like it just like in complete unison, and it was just like, even though we've clearly seen the opening before, it still emotionally connects to us, and we're still latched onto it every single time. Huge, just a lot of power is in that opening. Man, it's a good one. Good opening.
And that's why it's my number one film opening of all time. Max, why don't you close us down?
So yeah, before we get to the end of this podcast, we have one more thing, which is my number one.
Was that a Steve Jobs reference?
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you.
I'm really. Yeah.
I thought so.
I'm so down.
Just one more thing. Yeah, that was his thing. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm so down for that Steve Jobs movie coming out in October.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yes.
Anyway,
Fassbender.
So, my previous two films I talked about, which is The Social Network and Muppet Movie, both involved characterization, because I'm really getting behind. I really started to get behind the idea that characters are what makes what gets people behind a movie, what gets people to support it. However, my number one has none of that. It involves a different kind of way to hook the audience in. It's mystery. It all comes from a bunch of ticking clocks. Ladies and gentlemen, my number one goes to my favorite movie of all time right now. Might change in the future. Back to the Future. Now, if you don't remember Back to the Future's opening, you might remember the part where Marty McFly comes in and he plays the
Giants.
huge the giant amplifier and destroys everything. That's a part of the opening, and that is a great moment of characterization. But right at the beginning, the first thing you hear is clocks ticking. You just hear a bunch of clocks. And at first you'll be like, okay, yeah, it's Back to the Future. It's going to involve time. That's probably right. But it starts, and then you see all these clocks as it fades in. Just so many clocks everywhere. It's almost as if being very heavy-handed about what, the title is Back to the Future, which which has future in there, which means time, right? But then it's like, why are there so many clocks here? And it keeps panning around, and it's like, and then at one point we do get an exposition dump with a news report, which is one of the most classical versions of exposition, with a bunch of plutonium being stolen for some reason, and just more ticking clocks. It's this mystery. It's like, what's around the corner? Why are all these clocks here? And then we see somebody coming in with a guitar and this jumpsuit and this very 80s clothing. We don't see his face. He comes in, he grabs, he looks around, he grabs this cord, plugs it into his guitar that he has for some reason. He plays, and there's this huge, huge sound. It's like, this huge sound, what is it? You couldn't see that anywhere else. And then you fall over, and then as he emerges from the pile, it's Marty McFly. Then he calls Doc, he's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh yeah, all my clocks are 15 minutes slow, or 15 minutes fast, or something. He's like 15 minutes off in some way. And then he's like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here. Now that's the opening for me. That's the opening. That starts with mystery and characterizes the two most important characters in here. Marty McFly, how he's reckless and impulsive and he doesn't think about his actions. And Doc Brown, how he's really smart but also kind of dumb
Kooky?
in some regards.
Yeah. Kooky.
What?
Kooky.
Yes, very kooky. How all his clocks, all of these clocks are 15 minutes off for some reason. It's like, it's all these little details. It's this mystery. It's like, what's around the corner? It's like, it's cinematic storytelling that directly involves the audience's participation. You can't, like, have somebody be amazed at something when Marty McFly just walks in. It's like, oh, it's okay, it's all normal, it's whatever. But when he comes in, when you see those clocks, it's all up to you. Are you gonna keep watching? Are you gonna, like, are you interested in this? It looks like you are. Like, you're watching it, you're pretty intrigued, but it's not based on other characters, it's based on you. And how you interpret that particular environment. And that's why Back to the Future's opening is the best, because it's all about audience involvement. It's all about engaging the audience immediately. And it does a great job of doing it. And it's super memorable, and it's super awesome, and it opens one of the greatest movies I've ever seen.
Okay. Personally, I just kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't stick out to me. This whole, like, philosophical, it's about you, didn't reach me.
I don't think it's philosophical. I think it's just like, it's...
Sorry, it is. I'm sorry. I don't get the sense of mystery. For me, it was clocks, Back to the Future.
Well, you know what? Lord of the Rings is just a bunch of magic stuff happening with people. That's all Lord of the Rings is, man. I just saw it as a bunch of medieval stuff.
But Max, it's literally just clocks. Like, you yourself just keep going back to clocks. Your number one greatest film opening of all time. Clocks.
Yes.
Jazz
and
hands.
Then it's like, the thing is, like, it would be just clocks, but then they're ticking. I don't know why, but
okay,
it's the ticking.
Max, the execution of that statement,
and then they are ticking.
They're just asking.
It's like
what is next? At the half hour and top of the hour, they go cuckoo. Great Scott!
Nice. Also,
I'm sorry. Did I deflate the situation?
If I may,
deflate the podcast?
"The Power of Love" by Huey Lewis, great song. Comes shortly after that sequence.
Back in Time is better.
Well, Back in Time is also a great song, admittedly. It's a great song, too. I have both on my phone. Wonderful.
I don't care what anybody... I don't care if it just seems like ticking clocks to you guys. To me, was like... I wasn't like... My world wasn't, like, blown up. I just understood. It was like ticking clocks. Like, yes, that's what Back to the Future is about, but it's also like, why are all these clocks here? And why are we just slowly tracking the camera as we just see all these clocks? Why are they here? Who owns them? Why? What's this huge amplifier? Why is it all normal to this guy who just walked in? Why? It's all questions. Questions that will be answered, but you don't really pay attention to the answers. It's weird. It's like questions, but no payoff, but you're paying too much attention to the great script and great things happening that you don't really care about payoff. You've already figured out the answer after a while.
I guess I just know the character Doc Brown, so I figured it out before I started the movie. He's kooky. That's why there are a bunch of clocks. There you go.
Maybe I'm not communicating this out. I don't know. But it's great.
Okay. Sorry to end on a slightly more negative note because of me. Larry, do you have anything else?
Nope. Great opening. I like it a lot. It's a memorable image, the clocks, you know?
So that's it. We all got our threes. Just to review, we've got, from me, Saving Private Ryan, Lord of the Rings trilogy, and Up from Larry.
We had Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, The Untouchables, and The Emperor's New Groove.
And for Max,
we had The Social Network, The Muppet Movie from The Muppet Movie, and Back to the Future.
And so there you go. Tell us what you think of those, but the main question is, what are your top three favorite film openings of all time? And
or just your favorite.
Yeah, sure. You don't have to come up with three. Just what are some film openings that stick with you? If you can give us a top one or top three, awesome. But we probably won't read like a full explanation. I'll probably do kind of cliff notes, but feel free to tell us why, just for our own my own reading.
Wait, so if one of us is like out, I mean to do a 3 top 3, would we just do a 2 top 2s?
No, we just wouldn't do one. That would just fall apart.
And if it was just one of us, would it just be one
top one? My name is Sean. My favorite musical is Chicago. Okay, good night.
Good night.
That would be pretty much the episode. So until that beautiful episode does eventually, inevitably happen, my name is Sean.
My name is Larry.
And my name is Max.
And I think there's no better way to close out this 3 Top 3 about film openings than to recite the opening to the greatest film of all time. If you'll permit me the next 102 minutes on the dot. With the coming of the Second World War, many eyes in imprisoned Europe turned hopefully or desperately towards the freedom of the Americas. Lisbon became the great embarkation point, but not everybody could get to Lisbon directly, so torturous roundabout refugee trails ran up Paris, Marseille, across the Mediterranean to Iran, then by train or foot or audio across to the rim of Africa to Casablanca in French Morocco. Here the fortunate ones, through money or influence or luck, may obtain exit visas and go to Lisbon, and from Lisbon to the New World. The others wait in Casablanca and wait and wait and wait. We're done. We're done here. I just slapped the mic. That's better than dropping it. Out.